Brittany Dilks. Much can be said about our dear Brittany, but first and foremost one must note that Brittle is the ultimate lost corp. I doubt whether anyone on the planet could outdo Britt when it comes to weird and wonderful outcomes. I once had a rehearsal with Britt where she was going to play violin. She rocked up the rehearsal, spot on time, with the hugest smile on her face, only to announce that she forgot to bring her violin to a violin rehearsal. Then there was a time when we all went clubbing, and Britt forgot her ID. My brother drove her all the way home, which at the time was about as far away as Durban. The next time we went clubbing, which was about 3 weeks later for Lizzie's birthday, everyone made special effort to remind Britt to bring her ID. And she did. However, with Lizzie's house being the meeting place before going out, we all forgot to mention to Britt that she needed to bring her ID from Lizzie's house to the club. And so she didn't. Gareth once more came to the rescue and drove her back to Lizzie's place, which thankfully is in an area better known to mankind. One day after varsity, Britt came over to my place as she was heading over to Keelan's house afterwards, and Keelan's not far from my place. When she was getting ready to leave, I asked her 4 times, "Britt, have you forgotten anything? Have you got everything that's yours?" She assured me each time that she had everything, accompanied by anxious glances at everything around her. A short while later, I found a cell phone in my room, belonging to none other than Brittany Dilks. Classic Britt. Britt recently had an interesting tutoring experience for South African tutoring company Teach Me Too. She decided it would be a good idea to tutor a young boy, Osa, applying the logic of, "Well, I did it in school up to matric, how hard can it be?" This logic landed her in a lesson with a boy who had to learn all the grammatical ins and outs of the causal language. Ins and outs Britt knows absolutely nothing about. She ended up going to the parents of the boy and saying, "I'm sorry, but I have no idea how to teach your child causa. I'll have to organize another tutor for him." Surprise! I think my favorite Brit story by far has to do with her recent travels to the United States. Britt just did a semester abroad at the University of California, Santa Cruz. She flew in a couple days before her program started to acclimatize and sightsee. She flew into San Francisco International Airport, where she was to be collected by some family friends who live in Santa Cruz, not too far from SFO. However, when Britt landed and went through US Customs, the family was not there to pick her up, and she had no phone to contact them. Figuring they were just running late, she decided to wait a while until eventually she spoke to someone and organized to phone the family. It turns out Britt gave them the wrong day.
The wrong day.
Goodness gracious me. What boggles my mind is that you can't even use the excuse of calculating the time difference incorrectly, because every airline on planet Earth gives you your arrival time in the local time of the place you're going to. At the very least, all you need to do is forward a copy of your itinerary to the people who are going to be collecting you at the airport. After pulling a classic Brit like this, one would imagine that such a mistake would never occur again. If it were me, I know that I'd quadruple check next time I ask people to pick me up at an airport. Not Britt, and this time she even managed to embellish the blooper. Upon Britt's arrival at Cape Town International Airport in December last year, Britt was met by an excited Keelan and Lizzie, but alas, her family was not there. What a horrible scenario. Do her parents not love her? Do they just not care? No, of course they love her and care. But I bet they couldn't wait to see her, only they were coming to pick her up the next day. Britt had managed to tell 2 separate groups of people to meet her at the same airport at different times. No, different days. This I can only applaud. As I'm sure you all know, Britt loves her food. She is always baking or cooking something, and when this girl gets to eating, she does it in style. On the day Britt left her cell phone at my house, my family and I were eating macaroni cheese for supper. Of course we included Britt, and she joined us all as we demolished some lovely food. Enter comical timing. Just as Britt finished her last mouthful, my dad decided to extend the offer of a second helping. However, in that very same moment, Britt decided it was time for an expression of delight at the pleasant meal she had just consumed. As the offer of a second helping had left the lips of my dad, Britt went like this. This was not quite the enthusiastic response we were expecting, as we all burst out laughing. My dad went, "Okay, slow down, someone get this girl some more food." While I was writing this speech, I also had a good chuckle, because the first way that I wrote this down was, my dad had never received such an enthusiastic response when offering a girl some more. No, wait, that's not right. Anywho. Britt is a really talented girl who can sing like a beast, play piano in a way that looks effortless, and write songs that really make you stop and listen. She's always up for something new, something daring, something interesting, or something fun. She's always so full of beans, willing to lend an ear, and she seems to have an endless supply of laughs tucked away. She is a friend to everyone and manages to connect with so many people wherever they're at. Britt's good sense of humour, talent, friendliness, and personable nature make her special, set apart, and irreplaceable as a friend. Brittle, thanks for the honour of making a speech on your 21st birthday. I wish you the happiest of celebrations, a year of blessings and abundance, and I hope that you're a friend who's always around, no matter where the road through life leads. Happy 21st birthday, my friend. Cheers.